Yes, good morning, people, my friends out there. How are you guys doing? Hope you are doing fine, depending on where you are viewing us from. Uh, Thank you for my subscribers who have actually subscribed to my YouTube channel. I say, may the Lord bless and protect you and stay safe. Beloved, today we are going to discuss about things, 10 things that you should never do in life. One, if a family friend asks you for money, don't give a huge sum of money. Remember, you might not be able to recover that money. Two, there's things you should not tell people. Don't discuss your love life with people. Don't discuss your next move with people. And don't discuss your finance with people. This is the things. This is the second one. The third one is this. Try to avoid gossips. Try to avoid gossips, backbiting. If you know what you wouldn't say in front of your friend or whoever that is related to you, don't say it at their back. Doesn't matter what it could be. Try to maintain your stand. 4, avoid bad friends. Avoid bad friends. Let me tell you something. Friends could influence you positively or negatively. If you have a friends, the Bible says, evil communication corrupts good manners. If you have good friends, actually you will do like them. They will influence you in a more positive way than when you have bad friends. For instance, you have friends who drink, club, and womanize. There is 99.99% to be like them. Secondly, choose the kind of environment you live. Because the kind of environment you live will influence you negatively or positively. Actually, if you live in an environment whereby everybody there smokes, you have this tendency to be drawn to gravitate towards smoking. If you live in an environment where people womanize, you have that tendency to do what they do actually. Because tell me something, the Bible says that iron sharpeneth iron. That's the book of Proverbs. It goes on to say that a man that is friend should show himself to be friendly. What am I saying is this? The environment you stay in matters a lot. That is it. That said, then you should study. The Bible says that it is not good for the soul to be without knowledge. That means you should study on daily basis. You should study on daily basis. Be it the Bible, books, finance, any subject that is interests you, you should study. The Bible says, study to show thyself approved. That means that you should study. Be humble. Study. Because if you don't study, you will never gain knowledge. The Bible says, the Lord, by wisdom, created the heavens. By understanding, He established the earth. What is it telling us? All the things you see in this world, we have billion creatures, uncountable. How did God make these things? It is by knowledge and wisdom and understanding. The Bible says, out of the mouth of God proceedeth wisdom and knowledge and understanding. So God himself knoweth knowledge. He himself is knowledge, and he knows the use of knowledge. So that's the reason God can never create what he does not know. Actually, what God does not know does not exist. So he creates what he knows and knows what he creates. So the same principle applies to human being. You should do what you know and not what you do not know. How do you know something? It's by reading and applying knowledge. The more you begin to get knowledge, the more you know that you does not know. You do not know, sorry. You begin to get knowledge, acquire knowledge, get wisdom. And how do you know? Learn from the men that have learned from somewhere. This area you can move faster. If you want to go to heaven, go to the Bible. Look at the men who are in heaven. Moses, Elijah, those prophets of God, they are in heaven. Do those things they do, and you surely will make heaven. So, as I've said before, having said, another thing is this: you should never be proud. Try to humble yourself. The Bible says, by humility and fear of God, riches are made. So, you see, the Bible says, without humility and fear of God, you cannot get riches. The Bible says, the prosperity of the wicked destroys them. So, it is only by knowledge, humility, and fear of God can one acquire riches. Lastly, but not the least, this morning, this world is a trap. Get knowledge. Everything we do in this world, as the preacher, Solomon, the son of David, he said, everything is vanity. This was the man that married 750 wives plus 300 concubines. Alas, he said, vanity upon vanity. Everything is vanity. So, brethren, we live in a world that is full of vanities. Everything is passing. The Bible says, love not the world and everything that is in the world. He that loveth the world, the love of the Father is not in him. The pride of life, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes. Said the world passes away with its pleasure, but he that doeth the will of God shall abide forever. So we live in a strange world. And lastly, but not the least, you see, there's something. Do not negate this gift of choice that God has given to everybody. You see, God is a God of infinite wisdom. He knows all things. Look at the things He created. You can see wisdom in them. Everything God created, He gives knowledge. He giveth knowledge to all things He created. But there's something that He gives to man that is so dangerous. What is that? It is the gift of choice. Choice is a dangerous gift that God gives to human being. See, and it's all about freedom, because God knows that every being loves freedom. Look at the sun and moon. They rotate, they start from somewhere and goes back to where they start from. They like wisdom. They want look at the sun and moon. Nothing support them. This is free. They are free to move wherever they want to move. But they must follow a certain principle. Same thing applies to human beings. You have freedom to move wherever you want to go, speak the way you want to speak, do whatever you want to do. But remember, at last you must give account of whatever you do. The Bible says, for it is appointed unto men to die once, after this judgment. And the Bible says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ to give account of what we have done in this body, whether good or evil. So, what are you doing now? What evil are you into now? Anything you know that you are doing that negate the word of God, it's better you draw back. The Bible says, it says, sinful people, that's the book of Isaiah, they have forsaken the law and they have turned backward. See, sinful and children of iniquity is talking about. That's the